Ich beantrage die Sperrung des...
I request the closure of track HBS 052 from points HBS 031 to the siding boundary. That's the whole track due to UV.
Hauke Ahlff.
Hauke, first name. Last name is Ahlff.
So hört sich das gut an.
Sounds good. Great, thanks. Bye.
Wenn ich zu irgendwelchen Leuten sage,
When I tell people I'm an industrial engineer, then everyone is convinced I run around with an angle grinder or work metal and things like that. But if I tell people I work in rail bridge facility management, nobody really knows what that is.
der typische Tag ist, ich fahre ganz normal morgens mit der Bahn nach Hamburg.
On a typical day, I'll get the train to Hamburg, get to the office, look at all my emails to see what came in, and then I often know what I'll be doing that day. But it's not always like that. You want to go now already? Okay, I'll come along then. See you in a second. Then a call comes in and the whole thing changes.
Wir kümmern uns darum, dass die Bauwerke stets verfügbar sind. Das Anlagemanagement.
We make sure that all the infrastructure is working and available, not just rail bridges, also noise barriers or pedestrian underpasses. Within facility management, we also look after a retaining wall and also the transfer tables. The HBA's facility inspection team checks infrastructure and their reports land on our desks. In these inspection reports, there are issues with the infrastructure that need to be addressed. We take a look and decide how to deal with it. For example, can we do it ourselves, or do we need to contract the work out to other companies? That's how it works. But in rail bridge facility management, we also inspect the bridges ourselves.
Kollegen, einmal aus dem Gleisbereich mit raus.
Move aside there, please.
Moin.
Dabei gehen natürlich auch Mengen mit.
And we also identify issues, of course. That might be as simple as a broken sleeper or a broken lamp, but it could also be an entire new bridge. If things are deemed to be in a bad condition, then sometimes we need to fix the problem within minutes. In that case, we really do have to hurry, commit resources, and try to find the fastest way to solve the problem for railway undertaking.
Also wir beauftragen dann Firmen.
We also commission companies to apply a new corrosion protection layer, for example, or build new guardrails. Those are some of the tasks that we also have to carry out.
So, wir haben die Arbeit...
All right, we've finished our work on Hansa Bridge, so the track can be used again.
Ja, was mir an meinem Job besonders...
What I really like about my job is how much freedom I'm given to make decisions. There's no set way of doing things. You always have to think, okay, how can I solve the problem? I also like the fact that we have so many different types of facilities.
Man sagt jetzt nicht nur, okay, gut, ich sitze nur im Büro mit drin. Und
You don't just sit in your office and stay there. You also go out with the others. And you go out knowing that you have to work out how to get things in order so that everything works. You don't just look at the clock and say, right, another 15 minutes until 3 p.m. and home time. All of a sudden, time is rushing by. You have several projects in your head at once. All of a sudden, you'll be faced with something new, so you can't really say for sure how the day will go. And that's what I find really exciting about my job. You're part of it from start to finish. You help coordinate the whole thing, and I really enjoy that. Of course, it's very important that we do our troubleshooting as quickly as possible, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of money at stake. That's just the way it is. For example, with the engine service area, where we have 32 parking bays for locomotives, and many are rented out to other companies. And if we have to tell them they can't exit the transfer table, that interrupts their scheduled services, etc., etc.
Thorsten, machst du einmal...
Thorsten, can you raise the switching tongues, please?
das ist natürlich wirklich schon...
That's a real problem, so we have to fix it fast. It's really important. So, of course, it involves a bit of pressure.
Wenn man den Leuten mal irgendwie erzählen will, was machen wir überhaupt bei der HPA?
When you try and tell people what we do at the HPA, well, many people just don't know what the HPA is or what it does at all. That's a bit of a shame in my opinion, so it's great if you can explain it to people and talk to them about it. And then many people say, oh, okay, I didn't know that at all.
Und die Hamburger Hafenbahn ist tatsächlich ein...
And the Hamburg Port Railway is an entire rail network, a complete infrastructure. Just like the Deutsche Bahn has a huge infrastructure, or the Hamburger Hochbahn, the HPA has its own infrastructure as well. The HPA's infrastructure doesn't carry passengers, it's largely goods transport.
Es wird zum Beispiel nach Tschechien mit verfrachtet und genau.
For example, the loads might go to the Czech Republic or to Salzgitter. It's really interesting when people tell me things and I sit there and think, oh, wow. And so it's just like that with the port of Hamburg, because it consists of much more than ships entering the port. It's also got a massive rail hinterland. I think the HPA's rail network and everything that belongs to it are really fascinating.
Also der Hamburger Hafen und natürlich.
I love the port of Hamburg and all my hobbies. They all go together because of the affinity to water here. I like to go wakeboarding in the summer. I basically manage to go every second weekend.
Vor 2-3 Jahren habe ich dann auch mit dem DJing mit angefangen. Für mich war es tatsächlich so, dass
2 or 3 years ago, I started DJing too. At open-air events, I would ask myself, what's that guy doing up there? Ultimately, you just have to press a button to start a playlist. 2 years ago, I bought my own mixing deck, and of course then I realized, okay, there are lots of things you have to think about. I try to put together some mixtapes at least once a month, and other people listen to them, and I love that.
es war im Grunde so, dass ich damals Industriemechaniker.
I trained as an industrial mechanic. After my traineeship, I worked as an engineering technician and then as part of an engineering team. And now I'm here in rail bridge facility management. And that connects the whole thing together through my working day. That's a good way to summarize it. I don't know what my journey with the HPA will bring, but I definitely want to stay here.